Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And guys, to be completely honest with you, my entire day here has been filled with just watching people rant about the SEC and Gary Gensler. Because honestly, as you all know by now, I think that most of what's going on right now is just stupid and kind of a web of lies, basically, or ignorance, either of those. And I mean, almost all the big influencers are starting to change sides too. I mean, Ryan Selkis of Masari, who's really known for not liking XRP, he said, "This is what happens when you have cops on the beat at the SEC who make it unpalatable for entrepreneurs to go public before all gains are captured by private market investors. Senator Warren and Gary Gensler are happy to protect investors from the $40 billion of value below. Too risky! Look at this. Canva, which, I use it a lot, raises $200 million at a $40 billion valuation. Crypto is the only asset class where retail makes more than institutional investors, aka financial inclusion. That upsets Gary's Goldman buddies, and offends Warren's sensibilities, let's put it like that, which is why it must be stopped. Now, again, I'm not going to say that any of these guys are doing something really wrong. It might just be pure ignorance or the unknown, but we also earlier today talked about Charles, right? But all right. Ryan says, if Canva were a tokenized product, retail would have captured 10 to 20 billion of that value, which is too dangerous. And it's really something to think about. Once more, don't just claim this as fact, but think about it for yourself. And again, you can always let me know in the comment section down below what you think. But also, Charles, as I showed you earlier, is talking about the situation about Jay Clayton calling out XRP on his last day in office. Guys, more and more people will start noticing that it's just really, really weird. Once more, it's just the tip of the iceberg, these questions. But more people start questioning now that Coinbase has been involved, which is why I reiterate, if Coinbase and Ripple are working together, big deal, right? Because they both can prove together that there's really some fishy stuff going on at the SEC. But I digress. I'm seeing a little bit of a pump happening on the XP forefront, and literally a little bit of a pump because you can't call this an amazing move just quite yet. You can call this progress because over the last day or so, we've already gone up about 6%, which is nice. But I can't really call it a big move or something to really write home about just quite yet. But let me reiterate and say once more, guys, I firmly believe that we should all be happy that XRP is at these price points. There's only a handful of people, specifically people watching right now in the comment section and watching, that actually have stocked up, I personally find, enough XRP for their lifetimes. Think about it from this perspective, guys. Are you right now satisfied with all the crypto that you have? Because once XRP gets the proper regulatory clarity, you're going to either have to spend 10 times as much per coin or never buy it anymore. And from that perspective, guys, I don't mind waiting another 5 months or so, for example, for a lawsuit settlement or anything like that, because I want to stack up. I just know, for example, with my ADA, for example, with my Solana, for example, with my VeChain, that if I get 100 times gains on my crypto, which I've had a ton of times before, I find it really difficult to buy. Right, Cardano, I bought the majority of it at 2 and 3 cents. And I've got this all on video, guys, because I've been doing YouTube for so many years now. You know how difficult I find it to buy ADA above $2? It's so strange mentally. I even find it crazy to buy ADA above 50 cents, but you guys get the picture, right? $2 is like awful. Even though I then, think back about the return that it's going to give me over longer term, and it works. But still, if only I just bought more. I always keep thinking that. If I had known that ADA would spike this much and become so popular, of course I would have bought more. And now with XRP, the way that I personally see it, not being a financial advisor, but just a person with an honest opinion, I think that XRP will surge up when the lawsuit settles. And I firmly believe that to my core, which is why I tell my entire family about it and everything. I always tell them it can go wrong too, right? But I do tell them I personally hold XRP because I think it's going to be crazy. And I personally think it's going to be a 10-timer at least. All right, if we look back, what I said before, I said it's going to go do 100 times, but that's when the price was 17 cents, right? Right now, we're already at $1.10 or so we've already gone times 8 from the price at which I said we're going to do times 100. But then again, think about it. If I bought a ton of my XRP at let's say 1, 2, 3 cents, whatever, it's as well kind of difficult for me to buy at $1. I mean, it is. But it will be for me way more difficult to buy XP like $10 and so from that perspective. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly make that clear. Now, that's a side note. 100 million XRP was just sent, or actually $100 million, by Ripple and Binance while XP remains above $1. A critical factor here is also that XP is still above $1 because, as we saw before, David Swartz says there need to be some changes to XRP if we stay above $1. And I think now that it's proven, after all these weeks, that it can stay above $1, there's going to be some changes. So there's a couple of transfers which you might call interesting. I personally call them not so. However, I get these things in my DM quite often. So you might be wondering why I keep covering all these huge transfers. It's because people really care. People really wonder it. People really want to find out what exactly it means. So whenever it gets sent, 40 million XP, for example, to the RL18VN wallet, which it's almost always happening, that basically means Ripple can do whatever they want with it. It's their distribution wallet. They can sell it. They can give it to their partners, whatever. We don't know. And the rest of this money, I don't even know, honestly speaking, to the core exactly what happened. It's just some exchanges moving it around. The only thing you need to know is if it's from an exchange to an unknown wallet, that's an outflow. That is bullish. If it's from an unknown wallet to an exchange, that's bearish. If it's from exchange to exchange, that's neutral. And that's basically it. There's a couple of differences. For example, custodians can be important. And they can also be from basically a futures only to a spot exchange. Those things can also change a little bit, but you guys get the picture. One thing I actually forgot to say, guys, is a couple of things. One, I'm not a financial advisor, not a legal advisor. Everything I'm saying is just my own opinion. Second of all, I recommend you guys to check out the Telegram links, which are maybe in the description down below. I hope so. I hope that I put them there because there's basically an alert group of mine where I basically put every time that I upload something, because a lot of you guys are not getting notifications. And also just a Telegram group where you can talk in. But there's also this competition over on Bybit right now. For all of you that are already in it, make sure you understand there's still a couple of days left to just kind of fiddle around because there's a solo competition. And pretty shortly after this, guys, we're going to do a DustDBC competition, which is consist of a lot of XRP. So once more, if you're not in my Bybit team just quite yet, not talking about the competition, but just referred by me on Bybit, right now is your best time. I'm just saying that. Once more, Bybit itself is an exchange and trading crypto is risky. We all know it. However, I always try to give you guys the best bonuses possible, specifically for XP holders. I'm just literally the best person to be under. So that is that. All right. So one article I saw, why XRP, Chainlink, and Algorand are falling. BS. That's it. All right. Then Kathy Wood. Apparently, she's going on a little bit of a rant again, and people are, of course, interested in her for some reason. I also saw that some guys are going shorting against ARK Capital. People are really bearish on everything that she and Elon Musk are saying. Honestly speaking, I don't really care. I mean, it's the usual stuff. It's the usual thing. People are always negative on things they cannot understand, I guess. Let's quickly press the like button on this again so I can get it up in my feed. For some reason, I can't see this video when I'm trying to show it to you guys now. It's not loading for me. Is it gone? Deleted? No, it's still fine. Let me retweet it maybe, then I can find it. Because I'm trying to find it on my phone so I can actually let you guys listen to it. However, okay, here we go. It wasn't showing up. There we go. Okay, I have it. Let's go to the start. Turn the sound off. Put the sound all the way high. There we go.
If we're right and companies continue to diversify their cash into something like Bitcoin, and institutional investors start allocating 5% of their funds towards, I'll just say Bitcoin for right now, because we did that, we framed it for Bitcoin, could be for other cryptos as well. We believe that the price will be tenfold of where it is today. So instead of 45,000, over 500,000.
If you could own Bitcoin, Ethereum, or some...
Okay, so point being, which is actually a valid point, I'm not going to lie to you. If a lot of those big guys put their reserves, for example, or start, heavily looking into it, the price can really skyrocket. That's because, of course, right now, the amount of interest from institutional investors is rather small. I mean, one of the biggest companies to hold Bitcoin has $5 billion in it. But, for example, if Apple put 1% of their cash reserves, for example, into Bitcoin, they're one of the biggest to ever put money in. It's just 1% of an allocation. If some bigger companies put in 2%, 5% and whatnot, there's so much inflow. And really, the price of Bitcoin can easily top 500,000 not too long from now. It's really not even that crazy. And that's the fun part about crypto. Right now, we're so early. I keep reminding people of these tweets as well. Two things. One, I still can't grasp the change in XRP once the case settles. Nothing will be the same anymore. You got to understand, once a settlement comes, nothing will be the same anymore in the entire crypto space. Because either XRP got a little, kick in the back, just basically kicked to the floor and, stomped on its, I don't want to say too rough things on the YouTube here. And then I got that, or it got proper clarity. Both of them have key consequences. Because think about it. If XRP got knocked down, that means most crypto in the crypto space are going down. A lot of exchanges are going to be sued. A lot of crypto are going down. Prepare for mayhem mode. And if XRP wins, it's the first properly regulated crypto in the United States, setting a precedent, becoming the Ripple test starter, I guess. And it's just, the crypto is going to pump to the moon, I personally think. And a lot of bullish things are going to ensue and happen. Second of all, XRP will really put crypto on the map in the US, being the first properly regulated crypto. Because once more, it's going to be the first in its sense. It's going to be so ridiculously special, and people can't really grasp, I think, how important XRP can play of a role. A lot of projects have settled already, yes, but XRP, there's no project like XRP. This literally stated that the president of all their cases can show how they're always winning against crypto with these 75 cases, but none of them involve a case like XRP, and we'll see that really shortly, guys, how, I guess, important it's going to be. Now, pretty funny, Bitcoin worth $2 billion moves for just 78 cents. An unknown wallet benefited from Bitcoin's low-fee blockchain yesterday with a transaction worth $2 billion. It's funny how sometimes they say that this is really efficient or really good, huh? Then I saw this. Willy Woo shared, I posted this map of the Bitcoin supply distribution, but many asked, what does it mean? Well, it says quite a lot. This is the whole ecosystem talking to us since people didn't see what I thought was in plain sight. I'll break it down and add a little bit more color. Most importantly, Bitcoin continues to distribute coins evenly. Publicly held and retail entities continue to gain more control of the supply while whales are reducing their control. Remember, the gold standard failed as a monetary standard due to centralization of the supply. Retail drives macro cycles. When retail stack their sats at an increased rate, like they're doing right now, it's the fundamentals saying we are in the middle of a bull market. I repeat, middle of a bull market. Traders in disbelief 2 months ago when this data was shown. Whales think that coins are cheap right now. Whales are opportunists, and they're in a decade-long diversification plan, selling into every bull market, having made their money. But they do take the opportunity to buy when they see a strong rally ahead, like right now. Publicly held coins shows bullishness. Corporate or long-term holds, they are increasing. Speculative inventories at exchanges are depleting as long-term buyers step in. ETF remain flat because of the colossal GBTC fee, 6,600 Bitcoin fees deducted and sold since February, and data sources below. So Glassnode, Woonomic, and Woonomic. Very peculiar, I guess, huh? Very peculiar. Just I don't really know exactly what you want to fetch from this, except for the fact that things are looking juicy. But that's also something we've been sharing a ton of times, and the real ins and outs. Everybody kind of is unsure as to what matters in the end of the day. All I know is things are just looking bullish. And let's actually show a couple of things here. Solana was doing really, really good, but it kind of got a beat to the head for actually being too good, and that's what kind of caught them lacking a little bit, and that's what the price fell today, because once more Solana was too busy. And it led to a denial of service. And I call BS on this. That's it. A 9-year-old is making $35,000 a month mining Ethereum and is now set to launch her own crypto. I call BS. That's it. A 9-year-old is just clickbait. Because apparently here it says one 9-year-old in Texas is, however, making more than in a month than an average American makes in a year. Together with her 14-year-old brother, the young girl has been mining crypto since April last year and is set to launch her own token. Now let's make one thing clear. In no way, shape, or form do I believe that a 9-year-old is making $35,000 on his or her own without some, let's say, 99.9% help from either the brother, who's 14, that can definitely happen, or some parents, or something along those lines. You can't tell me. All right, so these guys learned about crypto from their father, a former Wall Street investment banker. So that's already kind of got my senses tingling. And they became interested in the sector and in time learned how to mine from YouTube videos and Reddit threads. They converted their gaming computers, which once more, so the 9-year-old has a gaming computer? Okay. Interesting. And the 9-year-old, once more, can convert this gaming computer into a mining rig? Once more, maybe I'm just underestimating 9-year-olds, because I'm thinking 9-year-old. I know a 10-year-old, I guess, and they're pretty good, but not, maybe they didn't focus on it. And once more, the 14-year-old can definitely do all of this, don't get me wrong. But it says right here, we started mining just to learn about tech, but it is more fun if we can also make money along the way. A fourth grader, once more. Mining seems complicated at first, but it's simple actually. The operation, which started as a hobby, has grown tremendously in the past 5 months. The two now make upwards of $35,000 a month, more than an average American makes in a year. And this operation has expanded out of their home, and the two kids have now hired technicians and rented a data center in Dallas. Since we're at school, the technicians monitor the machines to make sure they're running smoothly. I don't know if this article is meant to be a joke, if this is just BS. It says here the national news, but I also don't get the story. So 5 months ago, they were making a couple of dollars from their mining rigs, and then all of a sudden, boom, it went from $3 a day to about $1,000 a day, a little bit more than that. There's a little bit of a story missing, but I don't know. And also a 9-year-old starting their own crypto. I don't want to. I'll talk about it maybe on my 5-minute crypto channel to go over it again to kind of tell you guys the story because I'm at a loss for words. Whatever. Guys, check out the links down below. Check out BITRUE, check out my telegrams and whatever. See you guys again in another crypto video.